What up, YouTube? This video was taken on this Saturday afternoon, October 25th, 2025. Time right now is 6:29, 6:30 on the dot p.m. And a little bit of a flapping and flying video. I'm the only reason I'm wanting to post a video or fly, I guess, and post a video is because I have switched over to Linux and I wanted to see how the workflow will be trying to post a video on Linux. So I was on Windows 10 and Windows 10 ended support, so you could either upgrade to Windows 11 or stay on Windows 10. But I already had several applications threatening to not run if I didn't update. Mostly it was Fusion 360 threatening that it wasn't going to run if you didn't update. So I figured if I'm going to try to ditch Windows, now would be the perfect time. And from following on YouTube and what have you, seems like I'm not the only one. It seems like a lot of people are trying to go to Linux instead of going to Windows 11. So I did a lot of information cramming the past 2 weeks probably. And just a disclaimer, I have no idea what I'm talking about. So if I use bad terminology or what have you, educate me in the comments. But basically, when I was in my research on Linux and what distro to use, I originally decided that Fedora would work best for me. But I just literally the name alone, Fedora, it has a bad condemnation to it. Am I using that word right? Condemnation? I'm going to have to search that later if I'm using that word right. It has a bad condemnation to it.
Welcome to OpenTX.
So that kind of made me not want to use Fedora. So but I was going to use it anyway. And then I had a run-in with a guy that wears a duckbill hat. So that was kind of a sign about I shouldn't use Fedora. I'm making a joke. But since I was looking up a ton of YouTube videos on Linux, and Linux was now in my YouTube algorithm, I got recommended a video from a girl. It was a video about why she switched to Linux, and if you just only watch that video from her, you would think that it would be very uncharacteristic of someone like her switching to Linux. But I watched several of her videos now, and she is a bit tech savvy, but she made a lot of good points, and mainly she's a photographer, so editing photos and what have you. But anyway, in that video, she talked about how she picked Arch Linux, which I never even heard of Arch Linux. I thought, you only had Debian-based Linux and Red Hat-based Linux. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm flying my DJI quads, which I haven't flown in a while, and I have a sneaking suspicion that one of them has a bad ESC or motor and doesn't run. But I don't know when the last time I flew these quads. So hopefully I don't regret bringing the DJI quads. As I was charging my batteries, I was thinking to myself, you know what, I should just do my HD0 quads. But I don't know, I just decided to try these DJI quads. I didn't do the Questor 2, my DJI 04 quad, because I specifically want to try to film in 4K to tax my computer, see how editing 4K is. With that being said, I have my brand new, hopefully I put a screen protector on, I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did. I have my brand new DJI Action 2 with the one with it has more memory than the original. And we'll change it. I usually fly in 2.7K, but we will switch it to 4K, 16 by 9, 60 frames a second. Oh, you can do 100 frames a second in 4K. You can do 120 frames per second in 4K. I don't remember doing that. Okay, that'll be a little too much. Okay, so we'll do 4K 60 frames a second. 4K 60 frames a second. Exposure auto white balance, and oh no, we need ultra wide. Ultra wide, cine like, auto white balance. I believe those are the settings I like. But yeah, so I was introduced to Arch Linux, and I did my research on it, and preliminary research showed that the reasons I was going to pick Fedora, that Arch Linux would fit those reasons, mostly because my preliminary research showed that compatibility with the apps that I'm interested in running would work with Arch Linux. So I looked at installing Arch Linux, and they just recently came out with their own installer. But I installed it manually, and that's the interesting thing about, like, you would think it would be so easy to find a video that goes step by step exactly how you should install Arch Linux. But for me, I couldn't find a video like that. Let's see, I think we're ready to try to fly. I believe we are at 6:36 now. I believe we are in golden hour. Okay, we're recording on the DJI. Now will the quad start up? All the motors seem like they're twitching. Oh yeah, it's so nice to have the Crown Vic back. Being able to just lean on this front bumper and fly, I mean, man, I miss it. It's like perfect leaning on this front bumper and flying. Okay, will she take off? She armed. And she took off. Yeah, so pretty much I watched 2 videos all the way through on installing Arch Linux. One was from that girl. Oh yeah, her YouTube. And I watched a lot of videos of that girl. I kind of like her videos. She's kind of like me in the fact that she kind of posts whatever's interesting to her. But her YouTube name is Bread on Penguins. Or Bread on Penguin. But anyway, she had an install video of Arch Linux. And then, then there was this other video showing how to install Arch Linux. And both videos, because when you do the manual install method, you know, you can really customize your install. Both videos did things that I didn't like. So I ended up just doing my own install of Arch Linux using the Arch Wiki. Oh yeah, that's another good reason to use Arch Linux, is because it seems like it has a really good community base, especially with the Arch Wiki. And it took me about like probably 3 to 4 hours to install. I took my time, and I did have some trouble, but every time I had trouble, oh yeah, I relied on AI a lot to get me through my problems. But every time I had trouble, I either look it up in AI or what have you. And you know, that's the one thing I like about Linux, is it tells you what's wrong. When something doesn't work, it'll tell you why it's not working, so you can tackle it. So I was able to install it, and I did my own partition formatting that I thought would be the best. Oh, the train's coming. I don't know if I should do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. If I had the 04, I could do this really confidently. Which way do you think it's coming? I don't. Oh, I think I hear it. Oh, I'm facing the other way. I'm facing backwards. Oh, it's a freight train. I thought usually they don't. I thought they didn't run freight trains during the day. I thought they only ran them at night. It's hauling sand. I was making sure a car didn't sneak up on me. This might take forever. Oh, I'm running out of battery. Yeah, this is gonna take forever. Oh yeah, this is exactly, I was flying like this, I had RF loss, hit the gravel, and ricocheted right into this pond. So the original Questor prototype is in this pond. So anyway, I'll stop being a train foamer and we'll get back to the video. So I got my Arch Linux installed, relatively pain-free, and the train's over. I didn't do the dive gap. Is there still a dive gap here? Barely. Oh, good night. I really didn't want to crash. Oh, it's going to be sand. Oh, I'm too lazy. I'm going to try to do it. Oh, I made it. If you haven't done this in a while. Oh, nope. Couldn't make it. So anyway, yeah, I got my install of Arch Linux, and I got started installing things I needed. Here, I'll turn off the camera since we're doing 4K. So I started installing, different apps I needed, and there was a lot of, so far, like every single thing I wanted to do, there was I had to struggle with it. So nothing has been really straightforward. But like I said, I've been able to conquer anything, any hiccup I came across, I've been able to conquer it so far. So the biggest hiccup I came across that is kind of a bummer is Insta360 Studio. So I ran that using bottles, and I could not get it to run using bottles. And it was the current version that's out, I could not get it to run. So luckily, I had an old installer.exe still in my downloads folder of my Windows 10 computer. So I used that older version, which is like Insta360 Studio 2023, and I got it to run. And I did a little test render, and the workflow of that, since it's running in bottles, is kind of bad because you gotta put the video files into the fake folders that Bottles makes to emulate Windows, and then after that you have to you render it, and it's not using your graphics card at all, so it's really slow. There is a video about how to change it so it uses your graphics card, but I had such a hard time getting it to run to begin with. I didn't feel like tackling that and then bricking something and having to start the process over again. So far that's the biggest disheartening thing about running Linux, is that like right now I'm using the Insta360 1R, which I've had for quite a while now, and like I said, I turned in my broken Action 2 to Best Buy. They gave me a $300 gift card, and instead of buying another one, I was gonna buy the Insta360 X5, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. And tell you the truth, if I'm gonna stick with this Linux and Insta360 Studio, because I don't think 2023 is going to even allow me to import videos from the X5 since it's brand new. I might not do that. Plus, even though this 1R is kind of beat up and it's kind of clanky, as I was taking off, it made me realize, like, oh yeah, this one I'm unsure of if it works or not. Seems like we're getting a, oh yeah, seems like we're getting a lower frame rate on this quad for some reason. So anyway, let me see if I can do that dive gap again. There's really not a good definitive dive gap here like there was at one point there. Oh, I made it. So that's a little disheartening. And then of course I've done test edits with DaVinci and test edits with Insta360 Studio, but until I upload this video, I don't know exactly how painful the workflow is going to be. Another unexpected problem I had switching with Linux is, you know, my Windows 10 computer, I had a M2 drive, which was my boot drive, and then I had a mechanical hard drive for my storage, because, you know, when you edit a lot of videos, you fill up storage really fast. Well, my plan was to still use that same mechanical drive, but that mechanical drive is NTFS, which is not natively supported by Linux, even though you can read NTFS drives. So basically, that drive, something is corrupted in it, and Linux will only let me read items off the drive. So I was able to take videos off that drive and transfer them to the M2 drive so I could do test edits. But basically I'm not gonna, and I read that I could like try to log back onto Windows with that drive and fix a corrupted disk, or do scan and fix, and it might fix it that Linux would be happy with editing files on it. But I noticed the transfer speeds are really slow off that drive on Linux. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that drive, put it into my old Windows 10, which I have been using to access old files on, old hard drives on. I have it set up in VNC, and I've been VNCing into it, and I got Linux set up to VNC into that old Windows 10. So I'll install that hard drive in that Windows 10, and then I'll just buy a brand new mechanical drive and format a mechanical drive in I'm going to try to do a Matty flip. Oh, that was so close. At least it felt close. We'll have to see what the video looks back. But I'll try to do another one. I'm not lined up straight.
Low battery, 21.5 volts.
Oh, man, that felt really good. So what I'll end up trying to do, and then I'll just buy a new mechanical drive, and then use the file format. Supposedly Linux will be faster because if you can get a drive to do 4K instead of 512 megabytes, it I got farther that time.
21.3 volts.
Oh, 1-800 walk back. Oh, nope, got it. Oh, I'm burning up, cooking this battery. Okay, I'm gonna cook that battery. But yeah, so that has been my journey of switching over to Linux. I'm still gonna keep on, after thinking about things, I was like, oh, maybe I should just go to Windows 11, because really I don't care about, I think caring about data acquisition and metadata is just a losing battle. So I don't get too worked about it. But the thing about it is, I've had stuff break on Windows 10. I was thinking about that on the way over here. So my network drive, my NAS, setting it up in Linux to access it, have it mountable, a mountable network drive in Linux, it was super simple, worked right away, and it seems to do really well with transfer speeds and what have you. Oh, I'm going in the totally opposite way. I'm just rambling on. They're over here. But oh yeah, I guess it was golden hour because the sun did set while I was flying. But when I first got my network drive and I set it up on Windows 10, it was fine. And then randomly, the link broke, and I never got it set up correctly the same way again. Even though I got it set up to access it, I would always have to reboot it. So I didn't break the lens, so that's good. So even though I've been having these problems, little hiccups with Linux, you have those problems with Windows as well. So I'm gonna keep at it, stay on Linux. Like one of the things, I did have a problem with DaVinci Resolve, but since DaVinci Resolve is a Linux-based app, it was able to tell me exactly what was wrong. And then when I searched that, other people had the same problem. And actually, it's a problem that occurred like 2 days ago with an update on Arch. And there was already a user group and a forum on how to correct the problem. So far I don't regret picking Arch. And, it's just, I guess, I've been a Windows user all my life, pretty much, since I was a little baby boy. Actually, my family was a little late on the computer scene, and our first computer was a Windows 95. So anyway, I guess I kind of just don't like change. But we'll see. If you see this video, that means I was able to edit it and upload it on using my Linux computer. So at least I got that working. And I haven't even tried to tackle Fusion 360, which is another program that I need to have, pretty much. But anyway, I've done rambled long enough. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you're switching to Windows 11 or what's your opinion on that. Thanks for watching. See ya.